in the book of Acts, chapter 16, captivated by the story of the Apostle Paul. There's so many different places that we can go with this story and when we talk about the Apostle Paul. But in this particular instance, in Acts chapter 16, you can correct me where I go off track here, but I believe Paul is with his partner Silas.
Yes.
And they had just been arrested and thrown in jail for really basically doing a bunch of nothing, but they were kind of falsely accused by some of the members of the Jewish synagogue, I believe. Anyway, they were saying that Paul and Silas were disrupting and maybe being disrespectful to some of the law of Moses. So somehow they convinced the Romans to throw them in jail. So here you are, and you have Paul and Silas in jail. And these guys now for, again, correct me where I'm wrong, but for at least a decade, they've been preaching the gospel, they've been sharing the good news, and they both come from hardcore Jewish background. In fact, Paul, they talk about his history. He was a member of the Sanhedrin and the High Council, and so Paul in particular, brilliant. It wrote a whole lot of the New Testament.
Correct.
But in this particular book of the Bible, the book of Acts, which was written by Dr. Luke, we come to a place where Paul and Silas are in jail, and I believe I have this part right. Again, I'm going to ask you to clean this up, but it's about midnight. Paul and Silas are chained up in jail.
Right.
Prison guards all around them because the Romans and the Jews want to make sure that, we've got our prisoner, we're going to keep them captive. Paul and Silas, the Bible says they start singing, they start praising. They start singing and praising and singing and praising, and now they've woken everybody up in the jail. Everybody else can hear what's going on. It's like, what is the racket? What is going on here? And what we read in the Bible is that a result of Paul and Silas singing and praising, there was the ground started to shake. Prison doors were opened, and not just for Paul and Silas, but for everyone that was in prison.